Law and Gospel about feeding the 5,000 from John chapter 6. So let's focus on, first of all, what's the law, the bad news that God gives us from this story. First of all, we see that people rely on daily food to survive. It's a reminder that we need to eat every day. Again, we can go some days without eating, but we are not amazing and immortal. We are humans that need to be given stuff from our God and taken care of each and every day. We need water and food every day, just showing us our mortality. And eventually we will die. And this story reminds us of that. Without food, we will die. And then this story reminds us that we're to waste nothing. You know, Jesus had abundant powers and he had all this food and he could just said, man, we get all this food. Yeah, just let those things kind of fall on the floor. Who cares? Because I can always make more. But Jesus said, let nothing be wasted. He made sure that even in this abundance, they kept the leftovers, and they were to take everything they had, and they wanted to hang on to it and make the most of everything. That's a reminder for often us. If you live in America, we have an abundance, and we might be good at taking care of some stuff, but we need to pay attention to the little bits and make sure we don't waste anything. And sadly, we do waste. Another reminder of our sin, and that's bad news in this story. And then at the end of the story, we see that people end up being more interested in Jesus feeding their tummies than of him giving them forgiveness of sins. They're not really interested in his gospel message. They just want the stuff. They want to use him like a vending machine. And sadly, our hearts are that same way, that often we really focus on what God can give us here and now instead of the bigger, more important things. So that's all the bad news, the law from the story. But the good news, the gospel, is that we see Jesus cares about us. Our daily needs, our little needs, our daily bread, he cares about and he supplies them for us. Normally, naturally, using natural means, parents and people and others and our own talents and abilities, but even supernaturally, he will take care of us every day and give us everything we need. Even if it's very little and it's really basic, it's this daily bread, he promises to do that simply because he loves us and wants to take care of the world. Jesus not only supplies our needs, we also reminded in the story, he gives us an abundance. There were leftovers. Everybody was able to eat everything they wanted, and they still had leftovers. He doesn't just give us the bare bones, but he gives us so much more, from spiritual things all the way down to physical things. And then finally, Jesus feeds our souls even more richly than he feeds our bodies. Jesus lived a perfect life. He died an innocent death. He rose from the dead. He gives us eternal life. So we have life to the full, and in his word, he feeds us every day by his baptism. He washes us every day by the Lord's Supper. He feeds our souls every day abundantly, more and more and more. And we have been connected to God to be his children. That's more, it's more than we deserve, but it's also more than we could ever imagine. Our God is such an abundant giver. That's the good news. So let's summarize the story. Jesus supplies our daily needs, including food, through natural and even supernatural means. He supplies our spiritual needs with abundant teaching and by giving us his very self. May God bless you with the law and the gospel.